guys, Jess here, and today I am making homemade bath salts. So I've got some Epsom salts that I purchased from the supermarket. Epsom salts can go straight into the bath as is, but I wanted to make those a little bit nicer and a little bit more fancy as a gift for my sister. So first of all, I start by pouring the Epsom salts into the baby food jars that I'm using as the way of packaging up this gift. I pour the salt in first because I wasn't 100% sure of how much I would need, how much would fit in the jar. So now that I've worked out how much I need, I pour those into the little baggies because the bags can just get thrown away after I've finished. Now I'm adding some lavender water-based, it's not essential oil, it's a water-based thing. I'm sorry, I don't have a word for it. It can be put straight into the bath as well, or you can put it in a spritz bottle and spritz it onto, say, your pillowcase or something like that. So once I've mixed all that into the salt, I then add some food colouring to dye the salts purple. I was really careful with the food colouring. I did not want to use too much food colouring for numerous reasons. One, I didn't want a big blobby brown mess of salts. I wanted it to try and actually be a purple colour. And two, I wanted when it went into the bath water to be really diluted so that there was no chance that the food dye would end up colouring my sister's skin, because that would be a little bit awkward. So once I did that, I then went to pour it back into my jar and realised that was a crazy idea and I was going to make a humongous mess. So I sealed the baggie back up again and just chopped off a corner. And like you would with the piping bag, I just sort of piped it or poured it into the jar ready to go. And I make 2 of these little jars of bath salts for my sister. I chose lavender for 2 reasons. One was ease. The supermarket I was at had that great lavender water-based oil. And 2, because my sister's partner doesn't really like lavender, and then he won't steal it when he has a bath, and he will leave it for her because it is a present for her, not for him. So yeah, that's the first one. And then the second one is exactly the same process. So I measure out the salt first in the jar just to make sure. I don't want to end up with stacks too much, and I'm just going to keep the rest of that Epsom salts. Maybe I'll make a gift for somebody else, or my husband and I can use them when we have a bath, especially after we've been exercising. Epsom salt's really great if you've got aches and pains. So as you can see, I just really mix that up so the lavender is all over all the salts and really coated. This time I changed the amount of food dye I put in, food colouring. I put in 3 drops of each colour. Last time I put in 1 extra drop of red because I felt like blue was the dominant colour and red would help, even it out a little bit. But this time I went, nope, I'm just going to do 3 and 3 and see what happens. And it did turn out a slightly different colour, of course, but they both still looked pretty cool. So I was happy with that. And I just mix that up as much as I can to really evenly distribute the colour and make sure every single one of the salts is covered. Now, these salts going into the jar are a little bit wet, but they will dry, or if you had time, you could probably wait, like lay them out on a tray or something and wait for them to dry. But it's not actually a necessity that they're dry because they're going into a bath and a bath is wet. So once I have done that, I then get about to decorating my jars so that they look pretty for a gift. And I went out into my garden because I knew that I had a really struggling for life lavender bush. Now, if I had an abundance of lavender, I actually would have used some lavender inside the jars as well, like added that in and put some bits of lavender because I think that would be really cool. But I don't. My poor lavender tree had about 6 lavender flowers on it as it was, and I used all 6 of them. So I've got out my diamond press and the circle dies that came with the diamond press, and I'm using that to just cover the tops of the jars so that you can't see the food labels anymore. And I've got some, what's that stuff called? Rickrack? I don't know. Some of that stuff that I'm also going to tie around the jar and connect the lavender on with. So just making a cross with my double-sided sticky tape so that it's nice and securely on the top there. And circle, and then again with another one. All this is pretty self-explanatory. I don't know why I'm telling you, just because I can't sit here quietly because that's bizarre. So I'm just filling you in. I hope you've been watching our advent calendar openings and updates. It has been so much fun opening these up and seeing all the amazing goodies. If you haven't seen any, go back and check them out. We've got lots of tutorials on the homemade goodies that we've included in our advent calendars, and we'd really love to see the ones you like. Really changing it up December with not just paper craft, as you can see, because my last couple of advent calendar homemade items have not been paper craft, but we'll go back to scrapbooking and things next month. Let us know if you like this. Do you like seeing different things, or do you really just subscribe to see the scrapbooking and things like that? That's okay. Let us know. We'd love to find out. So anyway, back to my decorating. Just tying up the lavender, as you can see, and I'm going to tie that around the jar to make the jar look pretty. Yeah, so this should keep for a little while in the cupboard. I mean, the jars are sealed-ish, and it's really just Epsom salt, lavender oil, and food colouring. So there's nothing in particular that could go off or get damaged or anything like that. So it could keep in the cupboard, but I will suggest to Katie that she uses it sooner rather than later, just to be doubly sure. I also found that when I tied on the lavender, it wouldn't really stay, so I just got a little bit of double-sided tape and stuck that on with double-sided tape as well, just to keep it in the right spot. Yeah, what else can I tell you? Lots of more exciting things coming up in the next, 10 days? I think it's about 10. 8 days. Oh my goodness, how is there only 8 days left? Gosh, that is just flown. It is almost Christmas. I love Christmas. As you probably guessed by the fact that my sister and I went to such a big effort to make each other these awesome advent calendars. What's been your favourite so far that I've received from Katie, or that Katie's received from me? Let us know in the comments. Have you tried any of our homemade things yet? Anything at all? Doesn't matter. Have you given it a go? What have you done? Have you made a tutorial? Can you link the tutorial to us to let us know? That would be super cool. Well, I hope you enjoyed this one. Please like and subscribe, and we will hear from you later. Thanks, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye.